the West Coast's premier podcast network.
Hi, this is Mama G. I have my PhD in parental household discipline. Whatever you have in your household, I probably raised it, taught it, loved it, spanked it, punished it, and definitely prayed over it.
The West Coast's premier podcast network.
This is Ask Mama G from World Tune Radio TV. You know I raised everything that you could think of. That smart one, that challenging one, that Special Olympics guy, and then that prestigious school person that I raised. So I raised everything in the household. I probably loved it, prayed over it, punished it, spanked it, and definitely, let me say that again, definitely prayed over it. So with God, common sense, I can help you raise that person, that thing into your house into a productive, wonderful child and young adult. Just give me a chance and just take some of my suggestions. I know because I've done it all and it worked for me because I put God first. So let's get started about this evening. This evening, this month is National Reading Month and also Women's National Month and International Month. And so, what we're going to talk about this evening is keeping your children how to read. That's important because if your children know how to read, they can be successful. And I am getting some looks around here in my studio. Did we do a boo-boo yet? Okay. Well, let's talk about reading to your children. You have to start that at an infancy age. And I used to read to my children when they were still in the womb, in my stomach, as you want to call it. They were in my womb, and I would read to them. I would read Bible stories to them, nursery rhymes, anything. And so when they came out, I still read to them. Because reading allows us to transport from our world to another world. Between the pages of a book, we can become immersed into the area of our lives, of fiction characters, and learn about culture entirely different from where we are. And so it's important that we read everything to our children. I remember how I would make the different voices as we read. We would make the different voices when we read. We would act it out. And so my children knew about acting already. So I just want to let you know that reading is very important to your children because they learn how to be quiet, especially if you read to them. Because of learning potential, the effects of reading on a child's development are vast, and multiple studies have highlighted its benefits. As such, teachers and parents are in a great position to ensure reading is a key part of children's daily routine. It has to be a daily routine. It must be a daily routine. Take the time out. If it's just 10, start with a 10-minute poem. And then do that for a week and then read a short story. And then later on you can read a whole book. So you go to different levels of reading to your children. And trust me, go to the bookstore and get the age appropriate Bible story book to read them. Because you're killing two birds with one stone. You're reading to them and you're giving them good morals. I recommend that. I definitely recommend get a Bible story book and you can read the situations and talk about how God loves that person and how God helped that person when they were in trouble or in need. So, reading is very important because if you start at home, by the time they get to school, it will be so important. It will be fantastic. Your child will get good grades. The teacher will say, your child is very attentive. He loves to sit down and read and be quiet. And that's what you want on the report card. That's what you want on that progress report, that your child was very cooperative. He was quiet during reading time. He enjoyed reading. So everything needs to start at home. And we give you some more information as to why it's important to provide some tips that you can use both in and out of the classroom. What are the benefits? The most important of reading for children cannot be underestimated. Reading for pleasure can benefit your child's education, social, and cognitive development, their well being, and their mental health. Yes, it can help them in so many ways. It can help them once they learn the information, it stays with them. Money they can lose, but what you put in that brain will stay in their brain. And numerous pieces of research conducted and commissioned by Book Trust have discovered that the profound benefits of reading for your child's development. One study details the effect of reading on later literacy skills, facilitating social interaction between adults and children, and encouraging children to engage in within the world around them. If they read cultural events, they can have a conversation with anybody. Say, for instance, if you taught your children about Africa, they can learn about the animals, how they live in Africa. So when somebody talks about Africa, he can go, "Oh, I know about how long the elephants live, how long the lions live, and how they survive in the heat." So, it's very important that you teach them other cultures. It's very important. The interest in a child's well-being. We offer important, comprehensive safeguarding courses for challenging behavior in training and designed to safeguard lead. For all the courses that fully online, available in all devices, and also to start immediately after purchasing. So this company here that I'm reading from has classes for parents. Now, what I did when I was when I had my children is I would go to the bookstore and buy the audio and the book. So we would listen and learn together what the different words were. And see, my children thought I was just as smart as they were. But some of those books, I didn't know some of those words. So I went to the bookstore and bought the audio book, and I read along and listened to what they were reading, especially when they got older in different grades. Oh, yes, I did. I'm telling you now, Mama G got some good common sense and says, okay, I can't read all this stuff to them. So I'm gonna go buy the audio book and the book itself, and we read it together. So it's no harm. It's no harm in admitting that you cannot read everything, and you learn with your children. There's no harm in doing that. But yes, why is it important to read to your children? So they can be successful when they grow up. That's one main thing, that they will be successful children, successful adults when they get older. Because it's important that they, like, when we read a book and put ourselves in the story in front of us, This allows to develop empathy as well as we experience the lives of the other characters and can identify with how they are feeling. Children can use this understanding to emphasize in the real world with other people. Additionally, children will gain a greater understanding of emotions, which can help them understand their own emotions and those of others. This helps dramatically with their social development. Like I said earlier, okay, like I used to read about the animals, and I would make the different sounds of the animals. Like I would say, this cat made a sound, and I would go meow, meow. The dog would go ruff, ruff, ruff. And my children enjoyed that noise. They enjoyed the sounds of the different animals. And that's what you do. And like in the story of somebody was being sad, I would start to cry. I would go, oh no. And my daughter and my son would just laugh and they would enjoy watching the different sounds and emotions I would make when I read. Parents, that's what we have to do. It can't be a dry reading. You have to get really dramatic when you read. Like if somebody's angry, well, mommy said, I'm going to spank you. I am going to put you in your room. And that's what you do in the story. In the book, you sound like what the action is. And then, well, I'm sorry, that should have been the dad's voice because I talk real low. But the mom would scream, okay, kids, I've had enough. Let's go in your room and be quiet. Stay there till you turn 39 or something like that. That would be in a book. So you just have to be dramatic when you read because then they can help with their emotions and see other people's emotions and say, I know. I've watched my mother do that. So make it into a play. And then when they get older, they may be an actress or an actor. And they'll know how to act in a play because they have watched you read to them. Gain a deeper understanding. A book can take us anywhere to another city, to a different country, or even to an alternative world. By reading a book, a child learns about people, places, and events that they couldn't learn otherwise. This gives the children a deeper understanding of the world around them and cultures that are different from their own. And reading also builds stronger relationships. If a parent reads to a child on a regular basis, then they will undoubtedly develop listen to this, a stronger relationship with them. Reading provides parents with an opportunity to have a greater and a regular shared event in both parent and child can look toward the future. Furthermore, it provides children with feelings of attention, love, reassurance, which is the key of nurturing and well being. So, look, reading has a lot of variables to it. It builds a good relationship with your children, and you can have a better understanding of how they feel, and they can look how you feel, and you can talk about the story afterwards you read it. So it's very important that you read to your children. Take the time out. I know we got phones now where we can have alarms on our phones, but I'm still old school. I would go to Walmart and buy that kitchen clock timer that you can put on your stove and listen to it click. And so I would read a little short story in the beginning, especially a Bible story, because the Bible story helps them to learn good morals, like I said earlier. So that was a good hint. And you always get a book that's appropriate for the age. You always do that. Always do that. You go to the bookstore and find books that are appropriate for your child to read. And then you read them together. Read them as they get older. Yeah, they go into that science fiction stuff, but you have to let them know that stuff is not real. Don't take it to a different level. And then another thing, don't let them have a book and you don't know about it. Because now they can get all kinds of books on Amazon or any online stuff, and they can bring them home and you don't know what they're reading. Check what they're reading. That's very important, parents. You have to check of what they're reading. You have to check of what they're reading. Reading out loud to your young children, even if they can't fully understand of what you're saying, gives them the skills that they need for when they begin to read themselves. It shows children that reading is something achieved by focusing from left to right, and that turning pages is essential to counting to, for con, I'm sorry for continuation. Continuing reading to children, and even in the earliest months of their lives, can help with language and stimulating part of the brain that processes language. So, yes, read to them when they're a baby in that little carrier. Set that carrier down and read to them. Read to them at every level. Like I said, when I was pregnant, I talked, I read. That's because my children don't have a problem talking today. They can talk and they can talk because I did it. I talked to my children. I read to my children. In fact, I was the only African American young mothers class that they had at the naval base. I was the only one. I was shocked. The class was free to young military mothers of all creeds and nationalities. And I was the only African American young mother there. And it was so helpful to me. So I was prepared to read, and things I couldn't read, I got it in Audible. And I read to my children all the time. So I know what I'm talking about. Reading is a key to success for your children. And I want you to remember that always. Because more, and then they get a more extensive vocabulary. Hearing words spoken out loud can expose your children to a range of new vocabulary and phrases that they may not heard otherwise. And by reading to a child daily, they learn new words every single day. That's important. Very important. Greater concentration. Regular and consistent reading can help prove a child's concentration abilities. Furthermore, it will help a child to sit still and listen for long periods of time, which will benefit them in their schooling. You know, I've always told you about quiet time. Get that timer, sit down, and everybody participates. Mom and dad sit down in the chair and be quiet for 5 minutes. Everybody does it. If they say you be quiet, then they'll be quiet. And see the quiet time, and then when it's time to read, they know it's quiet time. It's if you just have common sense, raising a child can be so rewarding. It can be so rewarding. You know, some of us can't afford a big fancy school, but if you have God and common sense, you can raise an intelligent child. You can. I wasn't rich. I started at the bottom of the line. and God blessed me, and I did everything people told me to do, and then I got successful, and now I'm able to help other people. And now I have a show because God has allowed me to witness to what I did with my children. And now I have a podcast because I know what works. Higher levels of creativity and imagination. Reading a book relies on us using our imagination for children's characters. I demonstrated that earlier. Visualizing their settings and environment and guessing what's coming next. We must see our imagination as we learn about people, places, and events and times. In turn, this developed imagination leads to greater creativity as children use their ideas in their heads to inform their work. Finally, the more that a child is to read to, and the more that they read themselves, the better they will become at it. And practice really doesn't make perfect. And the more a child reads, the better their overall academic achievement. Now listen, again, the more a child reads, better their overall academic and social skills are improving. So, let's read that again. The more a child reads, the better overall academic achievement and social skills will be better. We have to remember that. As long as they read, they become better, successful students and adults. That's the bottom line. That's what's going to happen. They become better adults. They have better knowledge. They get better common sense. And trust me, as they read their schoolwork, let them read those basic instructions before leaving Earth. Proverbs is the best book for students to read in the Bible. Once you read that and get your common sense with your studies, you will be a wonderful, intelligent, honorable person. Trust me, I've watched it, I've witnessed it in and around my household. I have watched the transformation of someone not knowing good common sense, but once they started studying and reading Proverbs, they became a wonderful, human, lovable young person. So it works. It definitely works. So please do that. And I'm going to go to my break right now. So I'll see you soon in a few minutes. You have a wonderful break, and I'll see you soon.
World Tune Radio, where the world tunes in. The West Coast's premier podcast network.
Hi, I'm As Mama G from World Tune Radio TV. Whatever you have in your household, I probably raised it, loved it, taught it, spanked it, and definitely prayed over it with God's help. The reason why I have this show, because God has allowed me to raise 4 different children. I've raised the super talented one. I've raised the Special Olympics one. And then God sent that challenging one. I even raised that prestigious private school one. See, Rory Graham Jr. was the first African-American cadet to ever serve as chaplain at that prestigious private school, Army and Navy Academy. Unfortunately, in 2009, he passed away. So the former general asked the family to start a foundation to inspire the young men in the community at an Army Navy Academy. In the community, we do a Dress for Success, where we take the senior boys at General Murray High School and give them a white shirt and a tie for their picture day. You know, there's many ways you can help us. One way is go to your phone and go to Cash App. Cash App RG Junior JR Foundation. Any amount will help. Then you can always mail it in to P.O. Box 4306, Oceanside, California, 92052. Hey family, now you know I got everything you need to buy. I have my purses here. In fact, they so big you can put a child in them. Then I have the backpacks for the kids to take to school. Then I have the different color of hats. I got the hot pink, the pale pink, the two black ones for the men. It says Billy and Lacey and Ask Mama G. So, and then I got the t-shirts for y'all to wear. I got the cute one with my beautiful face on it. Then I have Billy and Legacy, because you know that's what you're doing. All proceeds go to the Rory Graham Jr. Foundation. No, they don't go to my Cadillac. I don't have a Cadillac, if you want to know. So please, donate whatever you can to the Rory Graham Jr. Foundation. Thank you.
This is Studio A. It features a 200 square foot soundstage and a 12 by 10 foot cyc wall. 10 programmable RGB LED lights allow you to fully customize your backdrop and create the perfect look for your production. It's used for podcasts, live streams, films, and music videos. This space is as dope as it gets. Click the link in the description below for prices and packages.
Hi, I'm Ryan with Media Makers, and this is Chris. And what we do here is make media. Not that TikTok stuff, dope stuff like this. And this. We've done everything from flyers to music videos, songs to films, commercials to tap dances. We make media basically everywhere. And what we want to do is teach you how to make media. Not just teach you how to make media, but teach you to make dope media. We offer all types of programs, and the goal is accessibility. Accessibility. We don't want your creativity to be hindered, so we invest in state-of-the-art technology to make sure that your dream gets out of your head and onto the camera. I've been teaching media for over 10 years, and I've seen the stuff that y'all make. I'm not impressed. You need my help. I've had lots of talented students come in and out of this studio, and now I want you to be our next great media maker. We're gonna flip off to something. We've got on-campus programs, after-school programs, internships, summer camps, space rentals, equipment rentals. What more do you need to make some dope stuff? Let me know and we might get it for you. As a functioning production studio, we got clients coming in and out, and you will be a part of that production process. We put you in the driver's seat. At Media Makers, you make the media. It's all student curated, baby. For more information, go to www.mediamakers.org. Follow us on Instagram at MediaMakers.org.
Instincts going low, looking bad like a bat with an eye patch. All black through the woods with a backpack and a lit match. Spark one time, get the whole city looking like a dark shade of orange when I burn it down. What it is, what it do, Hogan. And everybody looking at me while I got them all in my sights. Picking them off, taking them out, looking like daylight in the night. And I'm killing so many if they really wanna get involved. And everybody falling from the elevator, now I'm Bray Rice in this. It's like I'm rice and take a bite, it's nice. And I have a nice time with it. By the time that it finds the way to the right side of him, not even a Heimlich can save him. A selective finger to you imbeciles. Tell me what's been getting into you, envy will kill you. She said I'm a gentleman, I admit a lot of women set up on my ottoman. I don't give a damn like an auto with no time to kill. I've been feeling like the opposite of work, it's a work. And I've never been a purpose thing to me. I just do what I love and it works for me. So I'm freaking every and the pushing, ready to be gunning to the finish, and the getting of it, but everybody know I'm working in the sea. I do it differently, so only time will give me everything that I deserve. My end.
The mission that revolves around Hoopball has more to do about the essence, right? And ultimately, what we want to provide, what we want to participate in, is a way of working, is a way of collaborating. The mission of Hoopball is ultimately creating an environment where we can foster incredible relationships and ultimately have fun, enjoy what this game brings, the joy, the passion, and the connectivity with everyone. We are a management and leadership consulting company, right, for the sports industry. Our services provide management, leadership tools to help improve and enhance the workspace, the environment space, the player space, so that everyone can excel.
Hi, I'm As Mama G from World Tune Radio TV. Whatever you have in your household, I probably raised it, loved it, taught it, spanked it, and definitely prayed over it with God's help. The reason why I have this show, because God has allowed me to raise 4 different children. I've raised the super talented one, I've raised the Special Olympics one, and then God sent that challenging one too. I even raised that prestigious private school one. See, Rory Graham Jr. was the first African-American cadet to ever serve as chaplain at that prestigious private school, Army and Navy Academy. Unfortunately, in 2009, he passed away. So the former general asked the family to start a foundation to inspire the young men in the community at an Army Navy Academy. In the community, we do a Dress for Success, where we take the senior boys at General Murray High School and give them a white shirt and a tie for their picture day. You know, there's many ways you can help us. One way is go to your phone and go to Cash App. Cash App RG Junior JR Foundation. Any amount will help. Then you can always mail it in to P.O. Box 4306, Oceanside, California, 92052. Hey family, now you know I got everything you need to buy. I have my purses here. In fact, they so big you can put a child in them. Then I have the backpacks for the kids to take to school. Then I have the different color of hats. I got the hot pink, the pale pink, the 2 black ones for the men. It says Billy and Lacey and As Mama G. So, and then I got the t-shirts for y'all to wear. I got the cute one with my beautiful face on it. Then I have Billy and Legacy, because you know that's what you're doing. All proceeds go to the Rory Graham Jr. Foundation. No, they don't go to my Cadillac. I don't have a Cadillac, if you want to know. So please, donate whatever you can to the Rory Graham Jr. Foundation. Thank you. Hi, this is Mama G. I have my PhD in parental household discipline. Whatever you have in your household, I probably raised it, taught it, loved it, spanked it, punished it, and definitely prayed over it.
The West Coast's premier podcast network.
Hi, I'm back. Well, this month is Women's History Month, and I wanted to start with the community. Now, this lady is very important to the community. She helped her husband become a leader in the community. She was the first African American student to graduate from Oceanside Carlsbad High School in the 50s and 60s. Her and her son became a professional athlete. He played for the Green Bay Packers. Her name was Ethel Buchanan. After Buchanan, January, she graduated from Oceanside High School, a lifetime member of the community. She's known as the Hat Lady. Someone, yes, I remember her when she was alive. She always wore hats all the time. She was a wonderful lady. She was the first African American woman to graduate from Oceanside High School. And also, she helped her husband build Shiloh Church of God in Christ, which is still open and has services on Sunday. Her son, Willie Buchanan, was a member of the Green Bay Packers, and before he retired, he was a member of the San Diego Chargers. Her husband has a library named after him at the Martin Luther King Middle School in Oceanside, and then there's a park named after her husband, Mance Buchanan. So Miss Buchanan was an unsung hero because behind every strong African American man, there's a wonderful, strong, beautiful African American woman. So Miss Buchanan, the Mama G Show salutes you for being the patriot and the mother of Oceanside. So that's our moment for the women history of the month tonight. So I want to thank my staff for finding that picture of Miss Buchanan. It was wonderful to see, and I appreciate you doing your research. Now, let me get back. Now, I'm going to my soapbox editorial moment. You young people, you need to stop using the elderly people for your shenanigans. I mean, you guys can try to manipulate older people all the time. Just because now I have a favorite fan who called me up, and because this lady is so nice. The young people come to her house and she'll pray for them, give them wise wisdom. But then they come in and they want to give her these sad stories of their life. Not one young man said that he had a young lady in Mexico that has a baby by him. And he lost his job and he became homeless. So she said, okay, she allowed him to stay with her for a little while. But then he never was appreciative of giving her gas money. He used her washing machine, her dryer, her refrigerator. And it got to the point where I know I'm supposed to be a good Christian lady, but this young man is taking advantage. Young people, stop doing that. Yes, we are retired, we save up our money, but we're not going to give it for you to do foolish things. Please stop it. Stop being manipulative, giving us your sad stories, because if you stop doing what you're doing, you wouldn't be in so much trouble. You don't have to have an intimate sexual relationship to say she's your woman. No. You can learn, you can have a relationship by just being together, knowing each other's likes and dislikes, help each other be successful. Sex doesn't always have to come in the relationship. You need to wait until you're sure you want to marry this person, because there's too many diseases out there for you guys to say, oh, I like this person after 90 days, and then you want to be intimate. And then next thing you know, you're sick because you guys didn't check each other out. You young people need to stop being so trying to get over on old people. It's not good. It's not good, so stop it. Go to church. Ask the Lord to bring you someone that's compatible with you. Ask the Lord to help you find someone that'll help you become a better person. Don't go to another country and think you can get somebody that's going to be submissive to you and do everything you want done. And then you don't know what kind of baggage she had. So stop doing that. Stop playing the field. Stop trying to get over because you get in a rut. Ask the Lord to help you in every situation that you're in. That's my soapbox for today. Be careful in your life. Have a nice one. Now, I want to go into my announcements and my shout outs. Now, you know, I have my hat on because I have a special event in May. May 20th, I have my Mother's Day tea. May 20th at the Bliss and Tea and Treat Shop in Oceanside, California. And we're gonna have fun. We're gonna learn about drinking tea. We're gonna have an auction. We're gonna have a raffle, and we're just gonna have a good time of being ladies together. And please wear a pretty hat. You never know. You might get a prize for having the prettiest hat on. So you need to sign up because spaces are limited. And it's $50 per person. And all the proceeds go to the Rory Graham Jr. Foundation. As you know, I help sponsor the Rory Graham Jr. Rory Graham Jr. Foundation is to help another African American young man at Army Navy Academy in memory of Rory Graham Jr., who was the first cadet to ever serve as chaplain for 3 years. Normally, that is assigned to a senior, but Rory got assigned to it when he was in the 10th grade. And he had the largest Christian club in the history of the school. So you can send your donations to the Rory Graham Jr. Foundation, Cash App, $RGJR Foundation, and we will send you a receipt and a little surprise. So please donate. And then, like I said, your $50 donation for the tea goes directly to the tea. And we're going to have fun. And please sign up now because I don't want you to miss it. It's going to be fun. Also, we have been discussing us being at the Juneteenth celebration this year for the city of Oceanside. So come out and see the World Tune Radio display, and I might be there. You can take a picture with me and have fun. Also, this weekend is the North County African American Women's Association Women's Conference for self-care and self-motivation. And the tickets is $125. And they're going to serve us lunch, and they're going to have wonderful speakers and a mentor. So please, if it's not too late, you need to go online to their website and find out if it's too late to register. Also, I want to give special shout out to a young lady who has a new shop called Bless and Bougie. It's in Oceanside, and the owner is Amanda, and she is wonderful. Lady, she has everything in your shop that you want to shop for. She has the jeans, the purses, the jewelry. You need to go there. It's at 4171 Oceanside Boulevard, and it's open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And she has a website. She's on Facebook. She's on Twitter and Instagram. So please go check the shop out. In fact, she's donating something to the tea. So she is really a beautiful young lady who's trying to make it in Oceanside. So go by her shop. I'm telling you, she has everything for every size in the shop. It's a cute boutique, very cute. And then I want to give some special shout outs to Donita Hickerson. She took her granddaughter to the science fair in San Diego at Petco Park. And she said her granddaughter had a marvelous time. It was fun, but it was educational. She learned about the different things in space and in form of liquid and how things are formed and feel. It was wonderful. So, Donita Hickerson, thank you for taking your granddaughter to the science fair. I know it was fantastic to watch and see because I took my grandchildren there. So I know they had fun. And also, I want to give a shout out to Miss Claudia in Sun City. It's really fun and weird how you can walk somewhere and somebody says, I saw you on YouTube. You have a show. And I was shocked. I didn't know my fellowship had gone that far. But Miss Claudia, I love the fact how you were talking to your children at McDonald's. And it was so nice to meet you. So thank you for wanting to be a fan of mine. I really appreciate that. Now let's get to the birthdays. This month's birthdays are Eileen Frazier, Shaq O'Neal, the basketball player, had a birthday. Miss Geraldine Thompson, Patricia Harris, Shauna Williams, Taylor Williams, Sharon Mayberry, Annie James's daughter and husband had the same day. Thomas Crane and Stephen Hopkins. Now, I want to give a special shout out to Mrs. Patricia Livingston. She would have been married 68 years this year to Reverend Alfred Livingston, who's in heaven now. But I wanted to let her know that she was well loved. She was a perfect example of what a wife should be. She was human. Yes, she fussed at her husband, but she stood by her husband. And I appreciate that so much. For someone in the community to be an example for me to watch was a beautiful thing. So, I want everybody to remember the Mama GT. You have to come. You have to put your name on the list and come to the tea. You just have to because we're going to have fun. It's going to be exciting. And we're helping a young African American entrepreneur in Oceanside. This is the first for this young lady to open a tea shop downtown Oceanside. And World Tune Radio and Mama G wants to support the shop. So the producers said we needed to have our event at this shop. Normally, we would go to one of the established places, but we decided to give kudos and support to the Bliss and Tea and Treats store. So please sign up to the tea. It's going to be a wonderful time. And wear that pretty hat. And we're just going to have a wonderful time between us girls and sisters of the community. So right now, I want you to love your children, kiss your children. And also, we need to pray for the family of the tourist who died in Mexico. There were some young ladies that went to Mexico for cosmetic procedures, and the Mexican gang ambushed their car and killed two of them. Be careful to go to Mexico. I would not go to Mexico because it is very corrupt now. There's no place safe, and I'm not going. So don't you go. Because I don't want to read nobody being killed in Mexico trying to get a cosmetics procedure done. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. Don't be ashamed of how God made you. Work on it here. Exercise, eat the right kind of food, walk, pray. But don't endanger yourself to go to Mexico and get a cosmetic procedure done because you may not come back alive. And that's the honest truth. So please be careful out there. It's not worth it to lose your life over. It's not. But I want to let you know that God loves you and so do I. So please stay safe. Kiss your children. Read to your children as much as possible. And you have a nice week. And I'll take pictures from the women's conference and we'll talk about it later. Good night. Bye-bye.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and shine.